All right, so what do you do when your husband abandons you? I'm going to do a video about this because that's what just happened again. When we believe in Jesus, we want to stay very focused on God and know that He's with us all the time. Anything that comes our way is eventually going to work out for our good, and we don't have to really worry or panic or anything if we stay close to Him. He's going to help us. So I was just looking back at some stuff in my past and some relationships and how I dealt with them. I tend to have a switch. It's an on and off switch. And if I feel disrespected, it tends to come out. It tends to just being hurt, disrespected. I can just compartmentalize and be like, done. So that can lead to, just the abortion trauma led to being promiscuous and just, not going from relationship to just hardening of the heart and not really caring anymore. So anyways, this time's different. This time I'm doing great. And this is one of the worst things I have been through, and I'm doing great. So I called my husband. He hasn't talked to me in a month and a half, whatever. I don't know. I tried to communicate with him and ask him what's going on, and he says he's busy and he doesn't have time for me. And so I confronted him and said, hey, this is not how it works, basically, So because I said that to him, he said he's pushed away and ignored me for about another month and a half. So I have been texting him this week, trying to contact him all different times of the day to get to him. Yesterday, his work said, oh, well, he's, busy. So I called again today. And not that I'm chasing him, because I am at perfect peace in God, but that there is a relationship. Problems don't go away on their own. He is my husband, and, something needs to be solved here. We lost our home. The landlord wanted to sell. That was an answer to my prayer, because it was getting too much with just me doing the finances, and he didn't want to lift a finger to help. Last conversation, he tried to blame that on me. The landlord just wanted to sell, so he tried to blame that one on me. When I left, I thought we were all set. I thought things were fine. And then as soon as I move, he turns a different leaf. He starts really acting like he doesn't want to be together. So this has been coming for a while, and I have been wrestling with God on, like, what do I do? Do I stay here? Do I go back to the state I'm from? What do I do? Do I show up at his work and say, surprise, you're in trouble now. you just abandoned me over here when I needed you more than anything. Any time in my life, I'm in a whole new place, know nobody, and you just totally abandoned your family. So I gave him a phone call right off the bat. He's like, yeah. I'm like, hey, this is your wife. Yeah. I want to know if you're getting my texts. That's all I said. Boom. He starts a huge scene again in front of everybody. He did this to me before at his work. Huge scene in front of everyone, screaming, taking a fit. So he's like, all I get from you is negativity and da 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 da. And I said, hold on. When you say that you can't have time for your wife, you're not going to get a real positive experience. So it is a two-way street. Da 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 da. You threatened to take my wages. Yep, you have a responsibility to take care of your family, and if you don't, you are going to pay child support. Nah, 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 nah. I said, hold on, I'm trying to get a word in edgewise. You gave me like 9 accusations, and I'm trying to respond to one. So he took a hissy, screaming on the phone. I said, look at yourself. So he hung up on me once again, and I texted him and let him know that I have now contacted an attorney, and if he doesn't cut it out, he's going to have court fees. He's going to be paying child support. He's going to be probably charged with abandoning his family at some level. I don't know. I haven't even ever really been to court, except when my landlord just wanted us to leave because he gave us a week to leave, and that wasn't even my fault. He just wanted us to leave. So I'm not someone who sues people. I might get mad and feel like it. I'm not someone who goes to court. I don't know the system. So now it looks like I'm going to have to fight for my rights. That, there's going to be alimony or something after 30 years of marriage. And I basically told him, if you're too cowardly to tell me you don't want to be married, that's your problem, grow some balls. If you don't want to be married, then come out and say it. Don't be ignoring me and abandoning me and all this stuff. So the good news is I have worked through a lot of trauma with that abortion, and then seeing just how I have a switch and just, broken relationships afterwards, just feeling like, someone disrespecting me, boom, we're done, that kind of thing. And this time, that was when I was a teenager, young adult. I mean, that was kind of kid stuff. But 30 years of being married, faithfully being married, and knowing like this, I did leave at the beginning of our marriage. I don't want to lie. I'm not trying to lie. I did leave at the very beginning because he wasn't being nice. And then we had my son. And, so all those years of marriage, all those years of serving, all those years of taking care of him, I'm getting totally, what's the word? I don't want to sound unladylike, but I am getting the shaft, no doubt. He is not, I don't know if he's not in his right mind or if he's just with someone else or what the problem is, or bitter or angry. So now I have to deal with this. And I'm just going to say, I sent him another text too saying, he's like, oh, I'm going to hold you accountable in these texts that all you do is talk about money and then sometimes you're nice. I'm like, you're going to hold me accountable when you're abandoning me? That's funny. That's real funny. So basically, long story short, is I now need to decide what I'm going to do. I've already tried to work everything out. I've gotten counsel. One of the men said, listen to my husband. Look at how you get revved up. I tried counseling. I tried counseling with him, counseling on my own, and he continues to mistreat his wife. So I left him a text and said, all I simply wanted to know was whether you're getting my text. And you know what? I'm busy and you will not be disrespecting your wife again. Take care. So I had someone that, just somebody over here at one of the food pantries, I was telling him about what had happened, why I'm here, how my husband has abandoned me. And he was like, what? Are you serious? And he's like, just tell him you're busy all the time. Tell him you're busy. You ain't got time for him. When he calls, you ain't got time for him. And I tend to be somebody who works really hard at relationships and likes to work things out, and I like to keep the peace. But when someone keeps dissing you, and I had to do this with my family, and this is why I think I've been so slow this time to say, take care, because I've had so much broken, relationships in my life. I really am trying to work this one out. I mean, you don't just trash a marriage. You don't just throw it in the dump. But where there's been domestic abuse, where he grabbed my arms last year and he threw me and his screaming at me and taking hissies like a little kid, I just take care. So he needs help, and unless he goes and gets some counseling, serious counsel, or somehow God knocks him over the head and knocks some sense into him, that he has lost his wife, and he's not in his right mind right now. I told him, why don't you cut out the pornography and you might be able to think a little straighter. So selfishness from a man is just so unattractive. So that's where I'm at. But just let me tell you, when you go through healing trauma, you're going to come out better.